Now, back to the Insiders, brought to you by Jiffy Lube on ESPN 1320.
Jesse Tapia in for James Ham. I'm Kyle Madsen. Joe Brazil on the ones and twos. We are hanging out with you until noon. The Kings open their summer league schedule today, and we're going to dive into some of the things we're watching for, not just in tonight's game, because I think if you try and look for certain things on a game by game basis in summer league, you're kind of doing it wrong. Like, there's no game planning. There's no.
You're not looking, oh, Kings lost today, we stink. Like, that's not happening.
No, it's not.
It's over.
So I was going through the summer league roster today, and there are 7 players that I really care a lot about right now going into summer league. Now, if somebody else on the roster has this awesome couple of games and we got to talk about it, then we certainly will. But the number one thing I'm watching for in summer league, and I think this is the case for probably everybody that's tuning in, is what does Devin Carter look like at point guard?
Yeah, this is the number one thing without a doubt, I feel. I mean, this is the one guy I feel like that's really going to contribute, that can contribute from game 1 too.
Yeah, like it's not that way. Yeah, it's not even, it's about this year for sure. Mm-hmm. But we talked about this earlier in the week. If Devin Carter acquits himself as a legitimate point guard, like a real NBA point guard, it dramatically changes the outlook of the Kings roster for the next 5 years.
Well, yeah, it changes the fact that you don't need one this year either. And this is the way this is the way he finds minutes on the court as well.
I on the current Kings roster for sure. Mm-hmm. But when, like, we've talked about this whole 2 gap years while they wait for 2027 to free up money. But James made the point yesterday that just because they're gap years, we're joined by James Ham live from Cabo. Go check out that video if you have not. Lots of good info there from James at youtube.com/ESPN 1320. But if you can find, like, it's not just gap years, like, okay, fast forward, nobody needs to pay attention, because there are wins you can get within those 2 years. And I think one of those wins, I think the most significant one, would be Devin Carter emerging as a viable starting caliber point guard who's going to give you 15 points and 7 assists and 6 rebounds a night.
No, yeah, I agree with that, because I mean, we've been talking about it with Kuminga the last few days, where it's like, oh yeah, 2027 or whatever year they're really going for. It's like, yeah, Keegan there, hopefully Keon is there. Who knows with Sabonis? Maybe it'd be Kuminga, but we haven't talked about. I don't think we've even added Carter to that possibility yet until I'm talking about him right now.
And it's not, and I want to make this really clear. Go ahead.
He's been in a tough spot. Like, I'll say too, like, he's been in a tough spot since he's gotten drafted too.
Yeah,
like, the guy who drafted him isn't here anymore. When he did get drafted, is at a position the team didn't necessarily need. He was also injured, didn't get to play till halfway in the season, and this team was just free falling, just trying to grab onto anything, hoping for a play-in spot, which they did land, but maybe to get into the playoffs. It's just not an easy spot for a rookie.
Yeah, man. So he's finally getting a chance to actually get some basketball development in instead of rehabbing his shoulder, which is pretty significant. But yeah, I'm with you, and I want to make this really clear, because I think Devin Carter was getting lumped into trade proposals by us and by other media types, not because he's bad, but when you looked at roster fit and potential player value to other teams, Devin Carter kind of checked those boxes. So it's not that he, I think he's a bad player. And I also don't think that his NBA future rides on him becoming a really good point guard.
Yeah.
Cause I think he has the tools to be an impactful player, even if he doesn't fit that specific role. But I do think for the Kings as a franchise, like, yes, they signed Dennis Schroeder. That's a stopgap option. You still need to find a young point guard to build around. And it doesn't need to be Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, right? It doesn't need to be an all NBA MVP caliber player. You'd love that. You'd love to have that at the point, but I don't think you need it. You just need a viable starting point guard. And if Devin Carter is going to be an awesome defender and can just run the offense, that would be really huge for the Kings.
Well, yeah, we saw the Bulls once upon a time. I know they get connected to this team all the time, but like when Lonzo Ball was healthy and they had Levine and all those guys, like they were a really good basketball team just because Lonzo just made everything go. So if you get something like that from Devin Carter, yeah, it definitely help.
No doubt.
I just wonder. I wonder how much opportunity he's gonna get. Because if I wonder, like, I guess how much of summer league is just this one shot right here too. Because Scott Perry didn't draft him or anything like that, so it's just a matter of how much does Scott like him, and it's just, like I said, how much opportunity is he really gonna get right now?
Sure.
Not in summer league, but just more so with the actual Sacramento Kings team.
The thing is you brought up Keon Ellis yesterday. And Keon did not. They wanted him to run the point. They wanted him to create a little bit. He played a few games and then they pulled the plug. I kind of wonder if because Devin Carter didn't get a summer league last year because he only got half a season, if he's scoring 40 a night and it's like, okay, this is all pointless, then I think he gets the plug pulled early.
Yeah.
But if he's dominant, but he's doing so, making the right reads, limiting turnovers, doing things like that, and just being a point guard, I would want to give him as many reps as he can get. I don't think it needs to be a rush to get Devin Carter out of summer league.
No, yeah, he needs work. He didn't play basketball last year, damn near.
Yeah,
like
man.
he was here for like the last few weeks, the last month, whatever you want to call it, but there was no flow to his rookie season at all. He just needs to play basketball first, like the entire summer league or whatever, and just that's it. Just hoop. He just needs to hoop and play point guard.
I totally agree with you. The next player on the summer league roster, not a surprise, the Kings' first round pick that they traded up for this year, Nick Clifford. With Nick, obviously, you just want to see there's just boxes you got to check.
Yeah.
You don't necessarily need to dominate summer league as the 24th pick, but do you just look like you belong? Can you avoid being a disaster? I think that is step one. Can you just do whatever the team is asking you to do without looking like because you can tell when you watch summer league, there'll be a player who checks into the game and you watch him and you just go, nope, not an NBA player.
Yeah.
And just avoiding that, I think is step one. But I'm also, I'm intrigued by what they have him do in summer league.
Like, what do you mean?
Is he just strictly, because at Colorado State, one of the things they had him do in his final year there was, and we talked to Ali Farokhmanesh, their head coach, who was an assistant during Meek's time there. But he said one of the things they had him work on as a senior was more creation, more off the dribble, off the bounce, getting to the free throw line. I'm wondering if the Kings have him do some of that in summer league, or if they have a really specific, hey, we want you to hang out in the corner and cut, or is it he's going to do some creation when Devin Carter's not on the floor? I think that will paint a picture of what their plan is for him a little bit. And then I think you can start again, not on game one, but throughout the summer league. I think you can watch Neek and get an idea of, hey, he's not going to be ready for the start of the year, or man, hey, this guy can give him 15 to 18 minutes out the gate.
Yeah, like I look at a guy like Nick Clifford and you look at how many guards they got on the team, and I just kind of wonder, like, do you prepare him? What's his development process going to be? Are you slow playing this because like we've talked about the two gap years or whatever till 2027? Are you preparing him to be ready for then? Do you need him out there like just ready to go with the guys now? I just wonder what their little development process with him will be and how ready he is, like you said.
Yeah, that's gonna be.
They're in a weird spot. It's like you're building for the future, but you're also, I guess, still trying to win ball games as well.
It's almost like you're gonna have your starting unit of Dennis Schroeder, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Keegan Murray, and Domantas Sabonis. And then your bench unit is going to be the Devin Carters, the Nick Cliffords, Malik Monk, assuming he's on the team. And like, to me, that bench unit, as many young players as you can get, but at the same time, they can't be so bad that they're losing you a bunch of games. And now you feel like you've got a bunch of veterans in your starting lineup who are disgruntled because they feel like they're wasting a year of their careers.
Well, that's the thing. In a perfect
it's a
world,
really hard needle to thread.
In the perfect world, like you draft Nick Clifford in the first round and you're hoping to get him minutes out there, like right now.
Yeah,
I think it's him over Monk. I don't think you're not playing him over Keon, so he's probably gonna have to wait a bit.
I'm playing him at the 3.
Oh yeah, true. Yeah, I don't got any wings.
Yeah, that I'm playing him at the 3, and I think he can do so comfortably.
Yeah.
And dude, if he's not getting, if Nick Clifford isn't getting 15 to 18 minutes a night as a rookie, I kind of think it's a mess. Like I think
Yeah,
it's a little bit of a disaster.
yeah, they need to balance it out
Um,
so these guys are getting minutes. It's
Jesse,
like,
real quick,
yeah,
I'm having the same thing with my headphones that I had yesterday. Um, so I'm gonna unplug real quick, and I'm gonna plug back in. Let's get to, is TC still on the line? Thumbs up.
yeah, yeah. Let's
TC
get
still there?
TC.
TC's got a different perspective. Is that thumbs up? He's still there? Okay, very good. TC's got a different perspective on the summer league. Let's get to TC on the Elk Grove Kia Talk on a 916-909-1320, 916-909-1320. TC, go ahead, man.
Man, hey, what's up with my bros, man?
What's up, TC? Kyle can't hear. He's fixing his headphones. What's up, though?
No, hey, it's good. Joe, what's up? Hey, listen, so what I'm talking about as far as from the Sacramento Kings perspective, bro, like we got a lot to watch, right? I don't know about every other team, but we're different, right? We got a lot of players that can make this roster. So as far as like you guys are breaking down the names, those are the names that we're watching. So as far as from the Kings perspective, Summer League is big for us, bro, because we want to see our youngest develop and see who can make the roster and help out. That's all I got. So that's my perspective. It's just not nothing. It's big for Sacramento Kings fans, bro.
I totally agree. Thanks, TC. Yeah, I'm with you, man. It's the
tamest TC call we've had in a while, by the way.
No, I totally agree. I hope TC, I hope you're doing okay, man.
He's just at work. It's not like he was at work. Maybe he was just amongst the people.
Yeah, I appreciate him still carving out time for us. But yeah, I agree. It's just I don't want to get wrapped up in wins and losses. The Kings' future isn't doomed if they win 2 summer league games.
Yeah.
And their future's not set as champions if they win summer league. Like I that's where I don't want the overreactions to be. But I do think it's really important because you get a player like Nick Clifford where you're going to watch him. And like I said, you're going to kind of know by the end of summer league, okay, is this guy trending toward being a contributor in year 1? Or is this guy still really in need of development? And I lean toward him contributing because I think he's going to be an effective player, but it's going to be off the bench as long as there are so many veterans in the starting unit. But I think there's going to be a real chance for minutes because DeMar DeRozan's starting at the 3. And after that,
there's no one behind those guys.
There's nobody else.
Isaiah Crawford up next. We're talking about he's 6'6" small forward and all that stuff. I think that's someone people were intrigued by last year. Like the Kings have spots where it's like summer league. If you want to go out and prove you can play, like there might be minutes for you.
Isaiah Crawford, I wanted to put him way higher on this list, but I also wanted to be realistic about what other people care about. I think if outside of Devin Carter, I think Isaiah Crawford, for me personally, would be the second player I'm most interested in summer league. He spent last season in the G League. He shot 50% from the field. He shot 44.7% from 3. 6'6", 220, has the body type and the athletic profile to be this type of player that we have been saying the Kings need. And I thought there was an opportunity last year to bring him up and give him real minutes toward the end of the year. They didn't, in service of trying to make the play in. But this is a year where we just talked about Nick Clifford's going to have to play because they don't have a ton of depth at the wings. I think Isaiah Crawford's another player that, like, man, I am trying to get him on the roster on a full roster spot or a standard contract, and I'm trying to get him minutes.
Yeah.
And again, I think that's something you'll find out in summer league. Does he look like, oh, that's an NBA player playing in summer league, or does he continue to look like a G leaguer?
Well, that's the thing too. I think with Nick Clifford, you're not making any big conclusions coming off of how he's playing in summer league or anything like that. You're going to give him a couple years and all, but like with Isaiah Crawford, I don't think he gets the same kind of, how do you say, leeway or anything like that. If Isaiah Crawford isn't really necessarily like dominating or just really performing, like just showing she's a true NBA guy, then it's kind of like, all right, well, this might not be what we're looking for at this point.
I think Isaac Jones falls into that same camp for me.
Mm-hmm.
If Isaac Jones is playing, if Isaiah Crawford is playing, can those guys just be dominant in their minutes? Whatever they're doing, can they do so at a really effective level? And if they can, then I feel good about them going into training camp and
you give them a larger look and all that.
Yeah, absolutely. But if they play minutes and you don't even realize they're on the floor, that doesn't bode well for me. But I can't wait to watch those two guys. And then obviously the other draft pick, Maxime Reynaud.
This seems to be the one that everyone just got their eyes on. It's like, ooh, kind of what's gonna happen here with him?
Like, what's gonna happen here with him is exactly it. Is it because Summer League is geared towards guards and wings?
Yeah.
It's just that's just how it kind of goes. But Reynaud is not just a center who's going to plant his ass under the basket and ask for the basketball. He can create a little bit off the dribble. He can shoot it from outside. He's got a little bit of a mid-range game. Like, that's
prototypically what you want in today's NBA.
Right. And does he get a chance to explore that here in Summer League as a second-round pick? Or does he kind of have to take a back seat and he's going to kind of get the treatment that every other big does in this situation, and he doesn't really get to showcase what he is? That he's the player that I'm most putting an asterisk next to for Summer League, because it wouldn't shock me at all if we walk away disappointed from Reynaud in Summer League. Just not in his performance necessarily, like, wow, he played and he was bad, but disappointed in, oh, he just didn't get a ton of opportunities. And then fast forward to late September, and we're talking about him as a potential rotation guy because he's just been tearing it up in training camp in the preseason.
So were the Kings just running it with Eubanks at the backup 5?
Ooh, is that right? It's got to be Reynaud.
Well, that's what I'm asking.
Maxime Reynaud play.
That's why I'm asking. Like, well, that's the thing too. Like, you need him to prove something this summer, like that he can be on the court of the Summer League and all that. But if not, like, are we dealing with Eubanks? Or like you just throw Reynaud out there and it's like game one, just figure it out.
Yeah, Reynaud or Dylan Cardwell, their undrafted center from Auburn, like big bruising physical energy guy.
And maybe Scott Perry could bring someone in later on the offseason, but
yeah, sure. There's free agent centers out there, although the market's pretty bleak right now. It's like Golden State's trying to sign Al Horford, and it's like if they don't, they're just not going to have a center. that's a tough market. But I do think it's got to be Reynaud, it's got to be Cardwell, and I think you're going to see those things. And maybe Isaac Jones a little undersized to play center, but he can fill a front court role. I definitely think it's worth watching and see if the Kings are trying to get those guys involved in Summer League in any kind of meaningful way, or do they go the route of every other big where they don't really get to dominate, and then we find out, oh, in training camp, nobody can guard Maxime Reynaud. Like, is that kind of where this winds up landing? And then the last one, Isaiah Stevens, recent two-way signing. Yeah, it was Nick Clifford's teammate at Colorado State. I kind of wonder if we walk out of Summer League asking ourselves if he's the best point guard on the Kings kind of full, Sacramento and Stockton rosters. Outside of Dennis Schroeder.
Is that a problem if he looks better than Devin Carter at that spot?
Ooh,
Devin Carter's the better NBA player, which is
if Isaiah Stevens looks like a markedly better player than Devin Carter, I think you got a problem.
Yeah, and I mean more so just running the offense, playing with the basketball in his hand and stuff like that. Because like Devin Carter, I think is just I think he's the better basketball player and all that. He's ready now, but just more so, like Devin doesn't look too great running the point right now.
If Devin Carter looks bad running the point, I think it's not a disaster, but I think it's disappointing. I think that's a disappointing outcome for Summer League, for sure.
We'll see. There's definitely things to watch this Summer League for the Kings, though.
Yeah, we'll be locked in. We'll be following along. And of course, I say not to overreact, but if Devin Carter goes for 35 and 12 tonight,
he'll get 20 minutes on it from Kyle Madsen.
I am talking about it tomorrow. We are talking about it tomorrow. Jesse Tapia going to be in for James Ham all week. Joe Brazil behind the glass. We're the Insider, sponsored by Jiffy Lube. Putting a pin in the Kings Summer League momentarily because we're trying to sprinkle in some NFL. The NFL